Hi there, I'm Dark Shades, broadcasting out of the east of England. Welcome to my channel. As you know, I normally do, videos on relationships or the black experience, to be honest. And today I wanted to talk about the myth of the independent woman. You know, a lot of men, when they hear the name independent women or they see someone who looks independent, they start rubbing their hands together. Why do they start rubbing their hands together? Because the word independent implies that they don't need any help from a man, or they can enter that woman's life without support, without supporting her. Now, where did that come from? That kind of idea that black British men in particular, well, some of them, that they can actually leave their mother's yard, move into a woman's yard and not contribute. It has to come from the time when, I think it was in the 1960s, 1970s, when you could just, the woman was probably in a council flat or she had her own flat. I'm not quite sure how many women were able to buy their own flats at the time, but a lot of women were able to get council flats because they had kids. And when they got council flats, normally, if they were on maternity leave or they weren't working, they would get housing benefit, they'd get their electricity paid and all sorts. So the man would, jump on the bandwagon, basically, and say, okay, she don't have to pay anything, so I can go and live with her for free. So they would leave their mother's yard and they would go to their main woman's yard. And from their main woman, they would skip, hop and jump to each woman that they had, knowing that they didn't have to contribute, or knowing that the little time they spent at each person's yard didn't qualify them to contribute. So that's what they would do. And their mothers didn't help them either, because their mothers would be more or less saying, come out to the yard, you're too damn lazy, you're too damn worthless, go find yourself a woman. And then they'd be palming off the men, the workless man and the lazy man them, onto the poor unsuspecting women who thought that they were getting a bargain, only to find that a man came with a price. And they'd yam out the whole of your food. Oh yeah, they're not giving you no contribution, they're not giving you no money. Or sometimes they would come with a little bag of noodles or one tin of chicken, chicken soup. And then when they're ready, when you kind of get familiar with them and you say, okay, you can help yourself in the kitchen, don't bother use those words, because what they'll do is all use 3, 4, 5, 6 eggs, and they drink up the whole of, where you would just use one level teaspoon of drinking chocolate, they put maybe a tablespoon in. They use up the whole of your condensed milk. When they're in the bathroom, they pour out the whole of your Radox. They drink out the whole of your Listerine, all your good stuff that you've been putting down for yourself. They come in and think that they can use it out because they see plenty. That is what is annoying, and that's what takes up our space. There's some of them, like I said, they'll come with their little packet of nougat as their contribution, or their little bag of cornflakes, because that's what they eat. I remember when I was married, my husband, my second husband, we would go to Tesco. He'd only have spent the money on what he ate or what he wanted. And then when he used to buy the Ribena, because the Ribena used to be expensive, could we touch it, please? No. And some men, even nowadays, have that same attitude. They bring to the house what they like or what they use. And that's how they justify not having to pay anything. And I think it's an insult, and I think it's disgusting. Since when can you live anywhere for free? And then to make it look like they ain't living with you, they skip and hop and jump for a couple of days and go elsewhere. That's what they used to do back in the day. 3 days with you, 1 day with someone else, 1 day with somebody else. And then they'll come with their dry foot. You have any cream? And it's your good cream they're looking at, Your good Astra or your good Nivea cream. And when you have your expensive Badidas and you're putting that in the bath, they're pouring out the whole of your Badidas in their bath. And then when they see your face, they're like, "We ask what for? Oh, you're so mean." You know what I mean? And they ain't buying it. When they bring stuff to you, it's a cheap version. The one that little packet that if they're going to bring the stuff for themselves, it's the one they get for like 35p or 50p or the little one for a pound. And yet they're drinking out or using out your good expensive stuff. That is what is annoying. And as far as they're concerned, they don't consider themselves a burden. They feel so as long as they're coming at night and sweetening you up, that's enough. They don't feel as though they can contribute. They're actually punishing us for the act that gave us salaries or income, because they had the Women's Property Act. When was that? I don't even know when it was. Well, it was in 1872. They had the Women's Property Act. And before the Women's Property Act in 1872, a woman would go out and work, People kind of think that women used to stay at home and look after the kids. And the men used to go out and work and look after them. No, those were the high-class women. But the regular women like me and you, we've always been working. We've always been the breadwinner. And we weren't allowed to keep our money. We had to give our income to our husband. And what would he do with it? Goodness knows. Invest it in some kind of project and you wouldn't benefit. You'd still be beholden to him. So in 1872, they came out with the Women's Property Act and it allowed us to keep our income. In 1882, 10 years later, we were allowed to buy and control our own property. So we had a little bit of leeway. So it's not easy peasy. But because of that, men started getting spiteful. Oh, well, if she can buy her own property and if she has her own income, I don't have to contribute. She can look after her bloody self. That was the attitude. Not let's see how we can work together. Let's see how we can put our money together. No, the man had his money. That was for him, like his pocket money, like they're still living with their mothers. You spend your money on all the boring stuff, the house and the bills and everything else. They keep their money and they use it for anything that they like for themselves. Clothes, they can, buy a car, do everything with their money while they're living off of you. And it's not fair. And that's why men like independent women. And the myth behind independent women is just that. It's a myth. So in 1961, that was another thing that went against us as far as them helping us out. It was decided that married women could have contraception so that they could determine when they wanted children. Ooh, that was a no-no. In 1967, all women could have contraception. Oh, but women were now having control over their bodies. Men didn't like that. No, they didn't like that. Another thing that women's got, not only can they keep their money that they earn, but now not only can they buy property, but now they can even choose when they want to have babies. Oh, well, if you've got all that power, look after yourself then. And that's how it was for women. Women had to look after themselves. And these men, some of them had a bee in their bonnet when women did and were able to look after themselves. And in the end, they were more or less saying, F you, if you can't come in and help us out. And what the government used to do is, after a while, it said, look, if your man is living with you, we're not giving you any benefits. So that made women even want to get rid of their men more. But the fact of the matter is that as long as they could prove that the man wasn't living with them, that was fine. But a lot of them didn't know that. And a lot of them, how would the man prove that anyway? A lot of the man, they were living with their mothers before they moved into the woman's yard. They don't have no rent receipts. They don't have no bank account. They don't have no proof that they're paying any bills at a second address because they were wockless. They just used to go from house to house, avoiding paying bills and avoiding contributing. And it's not right. Every house they go to, they leave piece of clothes here, piece of shoes here, piece of something there. Leave it all over the bloody place, holding women captive. Under the guise that they're independent, they can do what they want to do. And yet in the meantime, they can't do what they want to do because you bloody put your bloody clothes in their house. And then you have the audacity to talk about key. You want key. You want a front door key. Who are you to have front door key? And most of these women used to give the man front door key so they can shove it in when they want, putting their lives on hold. How independent are you when you've got a man pushing the key through your door, can come in any time and they're not contributing? You're a bloody prisoner. That's what you are. You're a bloody prisoner and you're a bloody slave. Because them expecting you to cook for them when they come in. And wash my clothes. Iron my shirt. Me I go out tonight, I want my shirt iron. So what you do all day for me come in from work? You couldn't do that. You know, see my shoes them want polish. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, I was doing this, I was doing that. That's what it becomes. You with your little intelligent self, you with your job and your income. You end up appeasing the man them who used to just come in, walk in with their key and take over and not doing nothing, not contributing. Them don't even do a little thing in the house. What is that about? It's not right. And women are still doing it, some of them. Meanwhile, the man get off scot-free. Why should they? Why should you allow a man to come into your home and live with you and have them not contribute? Why? Why should you make excuses? And women do, because that female nature comes over, that mother comes over. You're not their bloody mothers. You have to, the parents didn't teach them responsibility. You have to teach them responsibility. And you can tell a man will say, boy, I want to live with you, I love you, I don't want to do it all to me, can't do it all to me, I want to be with you every minute of the day. And you're, oh, really? Give me a key now. I want to come check you. I don't want to have to ring the doorbell, Just give me the key. And you running and giving them the key. And once they're in, that's it. You're stuck. So, and that made it worse. Like back in the day, well, they still get child benefit. When women get child benefit, men see that as an excuse that they don't even have to provide for the child. Oh, we all get child benefit. What me I give you money for? Yeah, I get paid for the child. The government now give you money for the child. So what you want money from me for? You're too damn craving. That's the way they look at it. So, they see that as justification for not contributing. They don't want to wear condoms. They berate the woman for using contraceptive. They just want the woman to be barefoot and pregnant, as my mum always says. What else have I got here? Got my show in a minute. If you're not doing anything, Lovers Rock Radio every Friday, 7 till 9. If I get time to upload this. Yeah, the black single, the black British male, some of the black British male, their mentality is that she's doing okay. She's got her income, she's got a roof over her head, she's got a yard, she drive a Chris car, she's safe. That's her attitude. She don't want nothing for me. She don't need nothing for me. What me I give her money for? What she can do with it? She just like a waste it. Me can use that for go buy myself a nice suit or a nice pair of shoes. Me say one cologne. Me can use my money for do that. Why me forgive my money to her and she already have money? That's their attitude. Not the fact that I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna use all what liquor you have. Them see you with a few little drinks in your cabinet. Them ready for drink it out. So what? You can't give me a drink. You know, see me just come. You can't give me a drink. Me no want this. Me want Cavazier. Me want vodka. And then I pour them big glass of your drink. Not, not come with a drink. Or they say, I realise I've nearly finished the bottle of your drink. Here, it's like a £50. When you go to the shop, buy yourself a few bottles. That'd be different. I was staying here the weekend. I noticed say you cook me a nice little dinner, I noticed say you do this and you do that. You must need a little money. See a £50 now. No, they're not doing that. They're not thinking like that. The black British men. And even some Jamaican men ain't doing that. Because they've been conditioned to believe, and black British women have spoiled them. And when a black British woman meets a Jamaican and he realises they don't have to do nothing, he just sits back and says, bloody hell, I idiot, me not have to do nothing. Me can just go and I go sit down. And that's why they don't even respect a lot of black British women, because they know back in Jamaica, them have to come up with the goods. You think them can go woman yard and go sit down and not come there with nothing and go there with nothing with them long hand? No, it can't work. And instead, but some of them are still, some of them would still insist and say, look, I'm not going to give you this, you know. Even some black British men, they would give money to their women. But a lot of them, then call them women money grabbers. Instead of seeing that they are taking from her, they see the woman, boy, she grabby, you see. She love money, you see. Every minute is money she talk about. And that is the attitude. When they see an independent woman, that is how they view her. Some of them. Yeah, and the funny thing is that where can you live free these days? Nowhere. So doesn't their logic say, their maths, doesn't it say something's not quite right here? You know, I can't go anywhere and live free, yet I'm living free. How would that go? How would that work out? They don't think like that. In this day and age, where can you go and live free? You can't. And yet, you hitch up at one girl yard, or your woman's yard, or another woman's yard, and you're living free, and you don't compute so well, something all right? Dossa. That's the only word I can think of. So, women don't complain, and that's the thing. You might say, so if she wants something, she can't ask me for it. But the thing is, women are there thinking, oh, he must be going to give me something soon. He's going out to work. He's gonna give me some money. I don't want to push him. I don't want him to look like, you know, me, I grab it. So, you know, I'll sit down and wait. They wait 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and after the 3, 4, 5th month, they're like, bloody hell, he's not giving me anything. And the man thinking, skinning up him teeth, thinking, boy, you know, me, I live here free. She not even ask me for no money. Just because we don't go on hoggish and run you down for your money, why don't you offer and say, boy, see ya? We shouldn't even have to ask. But you wait till the woman shoot up and she feels resentful and angry at your presence because you're not bloody contributing. And as far as you're concerned, you come with a little, what, you know, then little packet of noodle, 4 for your pound. Is that you come with to say, well, you know, you bring something to eat. Me not hungry. Me will eat this. And you know damn well she's going to say, oh, you know, you don't have to eat that. You know, I've cooked up some steak. I've cooked up this. I've cooked up that. Have this. You know what I mean? They know that. Psychology. You should make them eat the damn noodle and you sit there with your good dinner and see what. You soon see them crane up their mind and say, what? So what? You know, I can't give me nothing. You know, I can't give me some of that I eat. So to put them to the test and see what happens. What else? Yeah, like I said, you know, with their mums, they've lived with their mums, majority of this. And yeah, I'm going back a bit in time because I'm an old schooler, yeah? But they become, because their mum pays all the bills and they still give them a little pocket money, that's how they grow up and live with their black British women. Their money becomes their pocket money that they can do with what they want. But like I said, you know, just by their presence, some of them, they're in the house all day while the woman's gone out to work, using up the whole of the electricity, everything is on, you know, using up the whole of the food and not thinking moderately, not thinking, okay, she's had this, she might have had this, and she's obviously bought this for herself. She hasn't really factored me in. And if the way I see her use things, this will last her for maybe 2-3 weeks. Oh no, they don't think like that. Now, what would last her 2-3 weeks, they use that in one bloody day. And then they wonder why the woman is bloody miserable. And then, shut, you're too miserable, man, you're gone. That's how they deal with it. And look for some other mug who's going to take them on. And there will always be a mug who's going to take them on. Because there's always going to be someone who's desperate for your man and desperate to, you know, to look after them. Good luck to him, mate. So, a lot of times we have our relationships and we don't really know why they go wrong. And so sometimes my videos, they're kind of pseudo serious and pseudo amusing. They are the purpose is, the objective is for them to open up your mind and see things from a different standpoint, different perspective. So maybe you can think, boy, I never thought of it like that. And that's all for now. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.